Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. I'm TCaptainX. So many people want to be able to drop higher kill games in Warzone. Nothing beats the thrill of coming away with a 20 or even 30 kill game. But most people are making these 21 common mistakes that you can easily correct if you just know what to look out for. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down a high kill solo versus trios game I had in a sweaty Warzone Resurgence lobby. This is not a bot lobby by any means. I'm going to be pointing out some of these potential mistakes and what you should be doing instead as we go along. So number one, the very first tip is you don't have to drop at the hottest possible location in order to drop high kill games. In Bondle, this is generally mall. It's a very hot drop, but it also means a very risky drop, and the chances of you dying off rip and kind of getting into the blender early are much higher. For myself, I love landing in this area over near graveyard sort of because there's a lot of loot, but I can very quickly get loadout and then get back into the action if I want to. Now, tip number two is I just saw a player land down over here, and I'm also hearing some audio right ahead of me. So tip number two is simply slow down and pre-aim whenever you can. You don't always have to get fancy with crazy movement and trying to break cameras. If you guys just slow down, pre-aim where an enemy is likely to come with good centering, you're going to win more gunfights. Now early on here, my goal is I want to loot and I want to get money down as quick as possible. That is number three, is you need to prioritize getting your loadout down early. I ended up finding a custom weapons box where I get my loadout guns, which sort of replaces, and now I don't have to worry about looting and I can just start getting into the action. But otherwise, I really want to prioritize that looting so I get my perks, my custom guns, because they are just so much better than your normal ground loot guns. So I had just heard some audio up above me here, and I'm going to kind of come out aggressive here, try to side cancel here. And again, I see a player in front of me where we just had that first gunfight earlier. So again, slow down, we're pre-aiming, we hit good shots on this guy. Now that he's broke, we can pressure him and he's not able to get away. Drop down here. Also want to know is make sure you're getting in the habit of looking at your minimap after you're getting down, assuming you're not playing solos, because you're going to get those resurgence pings, so we can keep an eye out for where enemies are. Now again, I know there's people in this area, so I'm going to look to go back around and try to get some high ground up here. So we're going to take the zip. Now I have a lot of footsteps going on me, a lot of people landing in, going to be able to catch this down here, and I don't get the finish, but we're not going to overextend for this finish as this guy was landing back in, likely does not have a self-revive. Catch a guy just kind of floating, looking around maybe where to land. We're able to get him down as I'm starting to get shot from multiple people. We've got a guy pinging across on the roof and also two people down below me to my right. So in this situation, I know there's a lot of people around me, and this is tip number four. When you're outnumbered, just slow down. There's nothing wrong with it, just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen instead of forcing yourself in the fight. I start hearing some footsteps to my right and I catch this guy. We break his armor and he's able to get out. Now this is risky here. I want to talk about this. Is a lot of people, this can be a mistake where you over chase and you allow that person to get plated back up. They can reach out and kill you. This guy, I don't let him get enough of a distance where he has an opportunity to fully get plated up, and I'm able to get him down before he can plate up and rechow me. Now again, hearing more footsteps, trying to get back to high ground here, and as I come out this door, there is a guy laying down right here. You're gonna notice when I came out, I actually looked to the right because I was hearing audio cues out there, but there's a guy right there. We get the down here. Now, because I heard audio cues to my right, and I did take a little bit of damage, this is number five, is to not overextend for the thirst or overextend for the finish. Instead, whenever you have an opportunity, replate, reload, because it's going to take a few seconds for them to be able to go up and get that self-revive off, even if they do have one. After I get that down, again, I remember I heard audio cues to my right, so now we start looking, playing off of a great head glitch here, which means only my head is exposed. I'm a very difficult target for this guy to hit. I get him cracked. I try to make this jump and bam, we break my legs. The reason I did that is because I totally forgot that I didn't actually have my loadout. I just have my custom guns, and I don't have my Mountaineer perk. Mountaineer, I highly recommend running that perk, as especially in Bondle, the ability to jump off, not take fall damage, and also not take as much of that stun effect is just crucial here. So I'm hearing footsteps, and I hear footsteps behind me coming around this corner, and I'm going to very aggressively side cancel challenge this. And I'm gonna slow this down for you guys a little bit so you can see. We slide cancel. I start to center my aim too early, come back, and because this guy is kind of jumping and moving away, he ends up winning that fight here. We'll go back and play this in full speed so you guys can get a better look. And this is kind of one of the first sweaty players I really run into in this match. Is, to me, I really thought I won this gunfight, but you know what? It is what it is. It's all good. Because I was able to hit that custom loadout box, where ideally I would have had my loadout down already, now I'm able to go land back on the free public loadout, which in Vondel will drop with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the first circle closing. So I don't see anyone on it. It looks safe to land, so we're gonna go ahead and land in on this. We're gonna get my guns. Now I have my perks, lethals. You can also see in the bottom right corner down here, my perks. I am running double time Mountaineer, Stalker, which I don't always run Stalker, but it's a good option. I was just kind of messing around with it, and then High Alert. Generally, I think Quick Fix or Tempered is probably a better option instead of Stalker. Also going to be start trying to test out Irradiated, as Iceman Isaac just did a cool video on it, highlighting some kind of underrated features it has. Now, when I'm landing back in, the very first thing I'm doing is, okay, I need to grab some plates, some ammo so that I can be ready to fight. I also catch this guy landing in here. So I'm like, okay, this should be a pretty easy kill. He's landing on his loadout. I'm not trying to camp the loadout, but it is what it is. I'm just trying to slow down and pre-aim and get an easy kill, and I get sniped in the back. This is unfortunate, but this is tip number 7. Don't let yourself get in that mental blender. And very quickly following off of that with number, I'm sorry, that was number 6. This is number 7. Don't land back right on your stuff. So I died right about here. So I'm gonna land nearby so I can try and get my guns, but I'm gonna land off a little bit. That way I can come in, I can hopefully open a few boxes here, and I can get that resurgence timer back. Since I'm playing solo versus trios, I get like that solo's resurgence timer, where as long as I am on the ground for a few seconds, I can keep respawning back like I'm playing solos. So there's a lot of people around me. There's a guy on the roof, guy over here. I know there's people over this way. You know, my goal is I want to get back and get my guns here, but I'm trying to slow down, play this smart here. I've got a Ram 7, not a bad gun to have, of course, and we're gonna try to get back to my guns. Catch a guy landing in here. Again, don't overextend for that thirst. Because he's landing back in, I know he does not have a self-revive since he's coming back from respawn. We aggressively reach out this door here because I did hear some audio on that guy. I'm gonna go back here just a little bit, and we're gonna slow this down because this is just a very simple audio, or a very simple move where I'm gonna slide cancel out the door. But as I slide cancel, notice how I'm already starting to center and pre-aim towards where I'm hearing these footsteps. And you can see this guy is pinging right here. He's gonna end up coming around this corner, I believe. So we slide cancel. Hit some jump shots in there as well. He tries to go for a nice drop shot, but because I am just hitting more shots, aggressively challenging that, I end up winning that fight. Now, problem is his teammates are coming for me. Teammate is pinging in here, and there's another one nearby. I'm trying to run away, get reloaded, get replated. There's just too many people. The same guy I died to earlier. Actually, I was live pinged in here, so I'm just outnumbered in this situation. There's just not much I can do here. But again, going back to that last tip, we're not gonna land back at the same spot here. Now, I have the option of just saying, screw it, I'm gonna go land somewhere totally else. Or what I remember is I'm like, you know what? I died over here the first time and I had my custom guns. Let's go land back here and try to see if my guns are there. And thankfully, they are there here. So we get my guns. I don't have my perks here still, unfortunately, but at least we've got good guns to work with here. And at this point, my goal is, again, I need to get some more plates, some ammo, but my goal is if I can kill someone else, I can take their perks. Hopefully they have a good perk package here. Now, there's a guy pinging here. You can also hear him shooting right around here, but I don't have an angle, so I need to get a different angle here. We're gonna loop back around here. Notice how I'm just centering my aim towards that direction here. Get him cracked, get him absolutely one shot, but he's gonna get away. I do not have my Mountaineer perk here. If I had Mountaineer, I'd probably just send it and chase this guy. But this is, again, this is another situation where there's probably enough of a distance that it's probably not worth chasing because he's going to get plated up and have the ability to re-challenge me, and I might get caught chasing and I might die. Now, I hear a cluster mine here, but I literally cannot see it. Thankfully, I don't die here. When I hear someone landing in, I'm not going to worry about finishing plating. I'm going to quickly get my gun out here and get that down. When a teammate is pinging. He's kind of undermined, but he's pinging right under me, and I can clearly hear this guy right under and next to me. So as we mount up here, as we jump up, we're gonna get this down. Now, this is going to be tip number 8, and you always need to hip fire first in these very close quarters situations here. So I'm gonna go back just a little bit. You get a nice down here, and when I hear this footstep audio, what we do here is notice how I start to hip fire. See how I'm going in and out of ADS there? The reason that we do that is simply because when people are that close to you and they're moving that fast, you can't always catch up with that aim down sight speed. I play at a little bit slower ADS multiplier of 0.85, but in those very close quarter situations, that hip fire allows me to more quickly adjust my aim. Hip fire is also just very strong in this game. So take home point, hip fire in very close quarter situations here. Now I'm getting sniped at. I believe there's some more people around me. I am gonna find a durable gas match, which I'm gonna stow by holding down on the D-pad. That way I don't have to wear it. It's not gonna block my view. Hit nice shots on this guy here. Notice how I get a quick reload off before I have to go, and we're gonna get that finish. When I get the finish, his two teammates are pinging out across the river from me here. But somebody just came, and we are just going to get out of here and reset the fight, and that is going to be tip number 9. So notice here, when I get the down here, and when I spot this guy is right here. I only have one plate on here, and I'm actually going to slow this down because this is a frustrating thing, but I want to point it out because it is something that exists in Call of Duty. Notice how I am getting shot, getting shot. I have completely broken line of sight for probably almost a full second, and I'm still receiving damage. And I've gotten my health all the way down to about a quarter of health, but because of that desync, he ends up still kind of breaking my armor. But because I'm able to break line of sight, reset the fight, now I'm fully healed. I'm pretty much reloaded. I need to reload here. And that now we're finally gonna get our reload off here. Now we can go up and get back in this fight. So we've taken a new angle, gone back up to high ground here, and I don't really know where this guy is. Got a guy landing in, gonna see if I can get it down on him, but he's gonna get away. I'm not gonna overextend and chase that here. Right now, I'm hearing some audio around me, not really sure where people are. I think I'm hearing people over here. Now this guy's gonna get away. I don't have a shot on him. When I then catch this guy running in, and we get the down in the finish, and this is going to be tip number 10. Use your mini-map, especially in Resurgence. Whenever you get downs, you have to train yourself to take your eyes to the top left corner and look here. You're gonna see there's a guy pinging over across from me. There's also this guy who is pinging like an advanced UAV, probably because he's using the Jack BFB muzzle. So I don't know what level he is, but I know he is facing this way. So he's somewhere right over here. So I'm just gonna look. And there he is. He ends up mantling on top, able to down him before he can get away. Then we're gonna get that finish. And again, I'm gonna get that ping on his teammate who is across the roof on me. Now you might see there's also a slight ripple ping here, and that is where his last teammate died. When you ever get those ripple pings, they're not ghost pings. Ghosted players just straight up don't ping in this game. We get a precision airstrike, and you're gonna see it was actually from that guy across the roof because you do ping when you call in precision airstrikes. So I'm just gonna get out of here. This is tip number 11. Just know when to back off a fight. I don't have a good way to go here. I'm just gonna use my gas mask. We're gonna rotate around in gas, and I'm just gonna get out of that area because that's kind of on the corner of zone, and it's just not gonna be a good place for me to fight. So we're kind of working into the next area here, and when I start to hear someone land behind me here, and notice as soon as I see this guy landing here, I'm going to live ping him. We get him broken, but notice how I can still see from a few more seconds of where he goes. So I know he is just behind this because of that live ping. Now I am just using the default live ping of hitting the top directional pad. If you have like paddles, or you could maybe custom it to another button if you want to, but I've just gotten very quick at hitting it that way. But because I live pinged him, I know his last direction was he's going this way from this live ping. I'm also kind of hearing him that way. But notice how as I come around, we slide cancel, perfectly centered aim in case he is still right here. He's not here. So then I have to assume, okay, maybe he got around the corner, but more likely he probably went into this corner. Notice how I just slowly center my aim around. You know, he doesn't have a chance because he was weak and he was not fully healed. Now, tip number 13. you've got to find the action. You got to stay in the action if you want to drop high kill games, and you got to act off information here. Right now, I am hearing some shots. I also thought I had heard someone land in at market a moment ago. So I'm like, you know what? Market's the closest places where I think someone is. I'm going to go there. We're going to take high ground. You can go in here nice and slow. Now, I don't know if anyone's in here or not, but I had seen someone land back here a moment ago. So as I go in here, bam, all of a sudden there is a guy right there in the corner. Thankfully, again, good hip firing. We're able to get this down and kind of reset this fight and go from there. Doesn't seem like anyone's around me, but it is a fire sale. You're gonna notice that buy station is yellow with that little fire on it. And I'm actually gonna buy a loadout. Loadouts are half cost on fire sale. And I don't have my perks, I don't have my lethals. That's why I decided to do that. I'm also gonna buy another self-revive, and I'm gonna buy a portable radar. And that is tip number 14. Portable radars are insanely underrated. They have basically the same width of a normal UAV, but they're half the cost. And when I throw this portable radar down, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people pinging. And that only cost me, I think, like $2 grand during the fire sale. So I'm gonna throw a smoke grenade up here so that I can get up on this zip without getting shot here. Get up top, try to take some high ground, and I'm just trying to look. Like, I know there's a lot of people around me, but I don't really see anyone, when all of a sudden I'm gonna get high alerted here to my left in just a moment here. To my right, I guess. So I get high alerted, we play off cover, play off the head glitch, and we get a down. This guy comes, and this guy hits a drop shot and just hits really clean shots on me. But because I bought that self-revive here, I'm able to kind of fall off the back where he doesn't have an angle on me. And he can't quite get me. I've got Mountaineer, so I can just run off. I don't have to pull my chute. And then bam, we're just gonna get in here and get the heck out of here. So again, this is another situation of resetting the fight. We get plated up underwater. You can see him right above me here. And we're just gonna kind of play slow here and see what happens. This guy's gonna challenge. We get the down. Again, we're not gonna over send to get this thirst because someone ends up killing him for me. So we're gonna, again, kind of reset, get out of the way, get plated up, and we're gonna take a different way out of here. Get all reloaded, we're good to go. I'm gonna climb the ladder here, and then this right here is going to be a oh crap moment. But again, this is gonna go back to hip fire in close quarters. Oh crap, there's 2 people right here I never heard, but watch that hip fire. Hip firing with an assault rifle, and I'm able to completely I'm able to down that guy with an assault rifle. This is how strong hip fire is in this game. We'll run this back at full speed here. Bam, hip fire, perfect shot, switch to the SMG. That guy was getting revived, so thankfully he didn't have plates. Thank goodness, I got very lucky there. Because those guys were in the middle of revive, I'm okay. Now I have picked up a ghost vest. For me, I'm always picking up the ghost or tempered vest. I actually do not pick up the bird's eye or the recon vest because I don't like how I can't see levels of enemies on the UAV map. So we're getting plated up here. I realize that I have to rotate here soon. So we're gonna take more of an edge rotation to the right here, just get to a safe spot here when I am gonna get high alerted to my left. So I'm looking at somebody underwater. I don't see anyone. I'm just sitting here, slowing down here when somebody's gonna come across this bridge here in a moment. Trying to see, is somebody on the boat maybe? Nope, nobody's on the boat. Okay, when here comes this guy. This is going to be tip number 15, and that is trigger discipline. If I start shooting right now, this guy can very easily run away. He can get behind these little signs here, and I probably don't have a chance to down him. So watch how I just pre-aim. I wait till he gets to the very middle of the bridge before I start to shoot, because once he's here, he's in the wide open. He can't get to cover. He's gonna try to run away, but because he's in the open, because I hit clean shots, we are able to get that down. Now, I've got to keep rolling. I've got to get into zone here. So we're going to work into stadium over here. I'm hearing a lot of shots here. So we're going to always try to work high ground when we can. I'm going to check the roof, see, is anybody up here? When I believe I think the reason I jumped off there was I could pretty clearly hear audio cues maybe right above me, and I got kind of scared that it was kind of a risky fight. So instead, we're going to go in here. Hearing footsteps around me, not really sure where, and I'm going to try to catch this. This is really fast when this happens here, but as I peek to my left, you're gonna see I catch this guy coming up the zip line into the window here. So now I know there's someone there. Notice how the first thing I do is I just stop and pre-aim. He doesn't challenge though. He must have went left or right, and I believe I can hear footsteps here going to my left. So we're gonna slide cancel. Perfect centering as I slide cancel. Now, this is a different skin. This is a different operator. So I know this is not the same guy. I know I'm outnumbered here. So that guy runs away. Here comes the first guy. Because I have my throwing knife, I'm able to hit that throwing knife. I can conserve ammo. I still have 29 bullets in my HRM here, but I've taken a lot of damage, and I know there is another enemy right in this room. So I have to break line of sight. I have to get away, and I have to replay here. So we replay, and notice how we are quickly checking corners to see which way is he pushing. I'm starting to hear audio of him coming around from where I just was. So notice how I come around the corner to give me a little bit more time to finish plating in. And then now we're going to aggressively re-challenge with some movement here and just absolutely slam this guy. So I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna play this in full speed so you guys can see, shouldering the corner, going back and forth, go around to give me more time. Beautiful slide cancel there. And we'll do this also in kind of a slow speed here. I think it's just very important. This is actually tip number 16, which sometimes you just have to use movement to bail yourself out of a situation. And this is a situation. Shouldering the corner to get information while he challenges. Hit a beautiful side cancel. Notice how I'm starting to hip fire during that and until we're able to start aiming in, and just some clean movement kind of helps us win that gunfight in an outnumbered situation here. So right now, I'm still in a pretty good spot. I got 21 kills right now. Resurgence is disabled though. This is again solo versus trio, so I've got to play this smart. Trying to loot up. I'm trying to actually find my throwing knife, which for some reason, even though I hit that guy, I can't find it. So I'm down a throwing knife, unfortunately. Picked up a big game bounty, because if I kill that big game bounty, I will get an advanced UAV from killing that. Now, this is gonna be tip number 17 in that whenever you have an opportunity, generally making a longer edge zone rotation is going to be your better bet. So the zone is pulling across to kind of the center of stadium. So my thought process here, if I just walk right down the middle, I'm probably going to get shot in the back. Now during this, I can also hear people are right above me on the stadium roof. So I know I can't just walk out here. I'm going to get shot in the back. So I want to take a long rotation around and use some cover and try to sneak into zone. Now this is going to be another situation of trigger discipline here, because I'm seeing people in front of me and I'm trying to see, do I have an opportunity to line up and take a clean shot and get this down? He's going to get behind cover, but there's another player right here able to mount up. He wasn't fully plated as well, so we get that down. Now I know, okay, I've got to get rolling here. I want to get ahead of this. I'm trying to rotate wide left. Bam, I start getting shot in the back here. And this is a perfect example of why I always run smoke grenades now instead of stims or anything else, because they can bail you out of situations. We turn around instantly, start to throw the smoke grenade, and I'm gonna try to use as what cover as I have. This little pole is all I have for cover right now. So notice how we throw the smoke and I'm kind of proning, shimming around this. And again, we're gonna shoulder. I hear him pushing to my right. I hear him coming around the corner to my right. So we're gonna go around to the left to give me more time to finish that plate. And now we're gonna reach out. Again, you have to use movement to get yourself out of these sticky situations somehow. I'm gonna throw another smoke in case people are ahead of me, and I'm just gonna get a head up here. Now, this is gonna be tip number 19. When it comes to the end game, especially when you're outnumbered, if you don't have the full squad with you, it is perfectly okay to slow it down like crazy, kind of just rat it out a little bit. I'm just literally sitting on the edge of zone. I'm pre-aiming. I thought that might have been a body, so I shot it. That's why I did that. I'm just gonna stay here for a moment. There's nothing wrong with this. In these end games, you can't just keep running around like crazy. It's down to a 1v2v2, I believe, based off these numbers. We're just going to slow down. Now I hear the buyback, so then I immediately look to reach out, and then we get that down here. But now I know an enemy is gonna be floating in. Now, right here, as I come up, I clearly hear footsteps right in this little bathroom to my left, and that is gonna be tip number 20, pre-fire whenever you can. I don't know exactly where this guy is, but I know there's somebody in here. So I'm gonna aggressively challenge in with some movement, and I'm just gonna start shooting. I'm gonna slow-mo this so you guys can see this. I actually center off. He's actually more to my right, but because I was already shooting, I quickly fixed my aim. I'm able to just win this gunfight. He actually hit me with a throwing knife here, I believe. So I'll go back here, we get this one. get a reload off when I hear. I'm gonna start pre-firing, and luckily he hits the throwing knife. Great throwing knife by that guy, but thank goodness he doesn't have time to start shooting me after the throwing knife hit, because throwing knives did get nerfed. They're only a one-shot down to a headshot on fully plated enemies now. Gonna loot a stim. I'm gonna stow that. We end up stowing the stim just in case I need it. Now, it is a 1v2. Now, the guy I just killed was actually my big game bounty, and because of that, they have given me an advanced UAV. So I know the 2 enemies are ahead of me here. Now, they have just thrown like 2 thermites, I think it is. So I have to wait a little bit. I'm waiting for these thermites to go away. But I end up taking a tick of damage. The problem with that is, because I took that damage, they actually now know, oh, I'm where those thermites were. So we get plated up here. And again, we're gonna play this nice and slow. Just gonna pre-aim, try not to make noise here as I'm aim walking here, and to see if these guys challenge out when they throw a torpedo or a mosquito drone. I hate these things. They are super overpowered and super frustrating. But when this happens, I know, okay, I gotta get inside. Because if I stay outside, if you get in that radius, it's gonna dive bomb down on you, and they will I think can one-shot down you, but if not, they get you like 1 HP. So notice again, I'm side canceling into things. I'm pre-aiming everything, trying to see, are they going to challenge here? When I hear footsteps coming around on that kind of metal clanking, and I know just from game experience, there is one of those metal stairs up on the other side here, and I know that's why he's coming up. So again, we are going to aggressively slide cancel this, start to pre-aim. He's gonna go for a nice drop shot, but this is one of those things where he is probably a little bit too far away to do this drop shot. Drop shotting is great in very, very close quarters. Because he's probably like 10 meters away from me or so, it's not that hard for me to quickly adjust my aim and get that finish. Now, he gets me very weak. I'm able to use the throwing knife to conserve ammo, get the finish, and now it's down to a 1v1. But I have to break line of sight because I'm getting highlighted in the back. His teammate is now coming trying to finish me. But we break line of sight, reset the fight, get replated and reloaded before we go in, throw a smoke in case he's waiting on me. Now and then, I know that there is this stupid mosquito drone up here, so I'm gonna try to get under the balcony here when I see the red smoke of a buyback. This is a buyback flare, so I know he is right down there, so I am going. I need to kill his teammate before the other one lands in, before I get landed on, and he just gets backed in a corner here. The torpedo comes down and lands on me, but I think it hits the roof, and I get super lucky here. So we get the finish here. I very quickly get plated up. This is gonna be tip number 21. Guys, and I have been doing this whole game, but I'm just now calling it out. Always, always, always fight off of cover. Even though I know this guy's landing in, doesn't have a great gun, notice how I am not just standing in the open. I'm right up against this wall, and I'm using this wall where I can hug it to kind of make it so I'm not fully exposed. And I'm also gonna use these shadows, kind of a little bonus tip here. When they're standing on this awning area in Stadium, you can see their shadow here. Now, what I didn't realize is the shadow is off from them. You need to shoot at their feet area in order to actually hit them where they actually are. Again, notice how we back off to another piece of cover. I'm using this right here as a big piece of cover. We're just gonna keep shooting, and eventually I figure out that if you shoot their feet, you get a win. So guys, I hope you found these 21 tips helpful. I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, please drop a like for me and subscribe for more content like this. By the way, this gameplay was on a live stream here on YouTube, so hit that bell notification so you know when I go live or post a video. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.